The Texans traded Deshaun Watson in the 2024 fifth-round pick to the Browns for a 2022 first, a 2023 first, a 2024 first, a 2023 third, and a 2024 fourth.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And with that trade, the Browns also gave him a 5-year, fully guaranteed $230 million contract. Completely changed the quarterback market of what they're looking to get paid. So, Eric, I know we kind of talked about this topic. I'm going to go ahead and let you cook.
So, let me get this straight. A man is accused by 22 different people of sexual misconduct. Misses an entire year of his career.
A whole year.
Is then compensated with the richest contract in NFL history.
That is correct.
And the team gave up 5 draft picks, including 3 first-round picks, to acquire him, to pay him said contract.
And said they protect him.
And to your point, structure his contract in a way in which he is protected against any suspensions that come this year because his base salary is so low. And that's where his suspension money would come from.
Yep.
You can't tax more than, I think, 10% of his pay or something like that.
Don't know the details. All that I do know is all the strides that the NFL has done to win me back as a fan over these last 4 years has been completely undone with one transaction, because this is fucking disgusting. Like, and it's not just on the Browns, because there were 4 other teams that were willing to do exactly what they were.
Thirsty.
Panthers, Saints, Falcons.
Thirsty.
And I don't think that any of those teams should get let off the hook either, just because they weren't willing to go quite as high as the Browns were.
Or because they were losers, quote unquote.
Like, this man was literally playing The Bachelor with NFL teams.
Yep.
And they lined up for him.
I don't want to hear a word about how much you care about women. I don't want y'all wearing pink in October. I don't want, like, you to act like this is anything more than a naked capitalist endeavor, because it's all about who can make you the most money. And like, morality be damned. Essentially, like that's where we're at as an institution. And it's like, it's not fine, but that's fine, but just own up to it. Like, don't tell me it's anything different, because like, I'm gonna always come back to this. It's like, if you thought that I rode hard against Ben Roethlisberger for years, he was only accused twice. Only. That's 20 times less than Deshaun Watson.
20 is a big number.
Can't even give him the Deshaun.
Nah, not no more.
Not no more, bro.
Sad, man.
And then, like, I meant to mention this last week because all of this is predicated on the fact that charges were not filed against him. That doesn't mean he's innocent. That doesn't mean that it didn't happen. That just means that there wasn't enough evidence, which is usually a case of sexual assault cases. There wasn't enough evidence to bring charges against him. He celebrated that shit, was talking about, keep that same energy. The Lord has vindicated me, like all this other shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, you haven't done the thing to actually assert your innocence. Like, all you did was pay your lawyers to get you off on technicalities, basically. It's just all this shit, like, it makes it hard to even enjoy the product on the field, which has its own fucking issues. Like, old money ain't gonna get. It's just
to Troy's point in the comments. I don't think anything an NFL team does should surprise us. They constantly show us who they are. And that is very true, Troy. And that kind of sums up my feelings, where it's like, I'm not surprised, but I'm still disappointed.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still disappointed that they try, like as Eric was saying, they try to spin it to you one way. But when you pay attention to what they're actually doing, you see what it is for real. Like, they've been talking all this time about how they want more women watching the sport and how they're pro women and this and this and that, but it's like, how can you do that when you have accused sexual predator with the largest contract in the whole league? I've seen some Browns fans saying like they were turning their fan, like they were like, I'm no longer a Browns fan. I get that. The Browns, of course, put out their little statement saying they did their research and they're confident that Deshaun can, come back and this and that. And again, listen. You can go ahead.
I was just gonna interject. Like, that statement like they did an extensive investigation. They didn't contact any of the women. They didn't contact the women's lawyers. They didn't even mention in their statements what they're alluding to. Like, at least if you're gonna own up to what you're doing by acquiring this player, like own up to it, mention it, say the word, like put words to it, so that people know that you're actually serious about, like, we don't stand for this stuff. Like, you can't just talk around it. So, like, I'm not surprised by anything. Like, the NFL does continuously show who they are. I just thought that there was a depth to which that they would not sink.
They sunk there.
And it's like, basically the bar is don't murder anybody.
And you can come back.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, Aaron Hernandez, and that's only probably because he went to prison. Like, if he didn't go to prison for it, he was free out on the street, like, he probably would have got picked up by another team.
Ray Lewis?
I was saying, Ray was roaming, been on the sideline, pretending playing and taking knees.
Okay, sorry. The bar is don't get convicted of murder.
There you go.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
And what's weird is, like, with this trade, like, I've listened to a lot of different podcasts to hear how they were talking about it. Then they were like, okay, now let's get to the football. Like, let's talk about his fit. And it feels really weird to me to try to go from what we just discussed to talking about how he fits with the Browns. So if that's all right with y'all, I don't really care to talk about that part. What I will talk about, though, is Baker Mayfield. Troy said, I don't think murder the table. Yeah. The only thing that you do, highlight that comment. Troy out here preaching in the comments, fam. I don't even think murder is off the table. The only thing you can't do is call out police brutality.
We get some applause for that.
Lucky I don't have no organs on standby. Yeah. But like I said, I will talk about Baker Mayfield because as soon as he heard they were even trying to talk to Deshaun,
get me out of here.
He said, I want out.
Get me the fuck out of
He
here.
put out a letter to the fans saying thank you.
It's been nice. I wish I will.
The Cleveland Browns said, they wish they had someone who's more of an adult. Which, how can you say that and then get Deshaun Watson? Who, you know what?
You got a new girlfriend, bro.
All right.
Whole new chick.
Fuck
in her face.
I hope the Browns lose every game.
And the Falcons and the Saints and the Panthers. Is there somebody else?
They said it's up to about 13 teams. But
Well,
those are the final four.
Yeah, those are the ones that were willing to meet the Texans price.
But Baker wanted to go to the Colts, but then the Colts traded for Matt Ryan,
who also was like, Atlanta, y'all want a new quarterback? Fuck y'all, I'm out of here.
See.